It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on Saturday, April the 25th, 2020. I'm coming to you from Bedford County, Forest, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg in central Virginia. It's going to be a reasonably nice day today, although we're probably going to get some more rain. It's been raining a lot this week. The grass is knee high, and it's been raining so much my mower dude hasn't been able to get over here to mow. So, and he probably, although he's mowed a couple times on our Saturday morning show, I think it's probably too wet out there for him to get started today. A couple things that we're going to cover this morning to let you know ahead of time. One, we're going to look at a couple cruise lines and extending the operation shutdown further. And if there's anything we can read from that that'll help us in our thoughts on when we're going to get to cruise again. Some apologies are in order to some of you folks who were around yesterday for the testing that we did on solo cruises for solos. We tested on the Zoom platform, and by the end of the test, we ended up getting porn bombed. So some of you missed that part, some of you didn't. Some of you got caught right in the middle of the porn bombing. That was interesting. New cruise up on the website, which I'm going to mention. And of course, I will probably make a little mention of the big time money that a couple of cruise lines raised this week to pay for new ships. So kind of a busy day for a Saturday. But first, let's get right at it with the main story, of course, is on the scheduling. Wow, what do you want to call it? Conundrum, I guess. Carnival Corporation's Cunard has extended their pause in operation. Of course, that's Cunard is owned by Carnival. They've canceled all cruises through July the 31st. Now that takes in the Queen Mary 2, the Queen Victoria. They've already canceled out Queen Elizabeth for the entire Alaska sailing season, and that has departures up until September the 8th that are already canceled. So they'll be communicating with guests, and they'll be offering the same kind of things that everybody else is offering with the cancellations due to the shutdown in the world. So, interesting thing from all of this was that Cunard will continue to monitor government guidelines and travel restrictions around the world. And this may mean there are further changes to the timing of when each of the ships returns to service. Now, that's the first time that the wording has been specifically that way, at least that I have seen. So Cunard has gone a little bit later than everybody else and is clearly saying, you know, that there's the possibility that this can go further. Now, my personal feelings on this, a lot's going to tell, especially from the United States and the U.S. ports, how we do on opening the economy back up. I personally feel that the states that are getting an early jump on things are getting a little bit too early a jump on things, and I think it's going to bite them on the back end of this and slow us down overall. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that it goes just smooth as silk and other states begin to open and we get things back going smooth as silk by the early part of the summer. But quite frankly, folks, I am not counting on that happening. Again, I think everybody in the industry is pretty much accepting the fact of the CDC's 100 days, which take us to July 24th before they can start cruising. Now, it's a possibility that they could start cruising other places in the world, but I'm specifically looking at the United States. So I just don't see it happening. I hate to say that. I'd love to be able to say, we're going to cruise before the summer's over with, but I have some serious reservations about that, folks. So, and again, that's repeating things all. The only reason I made this a story this morning is because there were a couple slight changes in dates that we haven't seen from other cruise lines. So, and of course, coming from Cunard, which is owned by Carnival, which indicates that the other Carnival ships will fall in line with that when the time is up and they have to make a move. Would just make sense. So, all right, before we get to the other things this morning, including porn bombing, exciting topic, stop for a word from Scoot Around. Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scoot Around. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scoot Around for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise. All right, I'm just jumping over and checking on some comments this morning. Tom Henry says that NCL has loan extensions on the 6 mega ship for 12 months. Yes, they scored big, as did Royal Caribbean this week. They both were out looking for money and both got a source for money. The specifics on it, I don't even know. But yeah, they got money for the new ships. So, let's see. Yeah, I said both scored. Excuse my cough. NCL is having a conference in Great Stirrup Cay to transfer crew members to head home. Yes, they are. And that, to me, that's an indication that they're not planning on sailing anytime soon, because there's a lot of movement afoot to get crew members home for the time being. So I think that's another indication that they're well aware of the fact that they're not going to be cruising anytime soon. Cooler Master, hey, there's somebody, a new face in the house. Cooler Master, welcome aboard. If this is the first time you've been here, it's the first time I've noticed your name. That does not mean anything. Welcome aboard. We regularly post videos on various facets of the travel cruise industry. We do travel and cruise industry news on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and then I break in live with anything breaking when it happens. I have an interview show called Chillie Chats, and of course the video. So you can always subscribe, and I'll let you know when we go live and when we put a new video up. So, Cooler Master, welcome aboard. Tom Henry says, lost the feed. Is someone streaming in your house? No. Nobody's even home, as a matter of fact. Let's see what we got. I'm still going. I'm live on Facebook. I cannot tell if I am still going on YouTube. Let's see if I can pull this up on the phone and see if that shows as well, and then we'll get to the other things this morning. But I am live on Facebook, Tom. If you are watching, I cannot tell from this angle if I am still live on YouTube. Carnival suspends operations. That's not it. No. Well, okay. I cannot tell if I'm live or not. So I'm going to continue since I do know that I'm live on Facebook, and hope that the stream to the stream to YouTube gets straightened out. We hope that will happen. So it came back, Chillie, just down a minute or two. Okay, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. I could not tell from my end if I was still live on YouTube or not. Okay, you didn't miss anything other than me stuttering around. All right, so let me explain what happened yesterday. It all started off that, most of you know that I co-host a show from London with Pete and John from up in Minnesota. The show's based out of London and for Cruises for Solos. And I've been co-hosting with them for a couple weeks now. And we were doing a test yesterday. Excuse me. A test on the Zoom platform. On StreamYard, like I use here, it's great if you've got one or two people as presenters and everybody in the audience. But of course, this platform is not good if you have a whole bunch of people that are going to be participating as far as presenting in some way or another, or commenting on the audio stream and video stream. So the Zoom platform is perfect for that. We've done some shows on this over there that have, like, doing some games and silliness that everybody participates in. And this platform is not good for that specifically. So we were testing Zoom. And it started off because John was actually hosting the test. And because of the level that he was in, he could get us on Facebook. So we started off just doing the test on Facebook, and that was going pretty well. And Bonnie came in. A couple other people popped in. I think Gretchen was there for a while. There were several other people that popped in. So it was just kind of like we were doing a live broadcast, only technically it was a test. So after a while, we decided to try to get the YouTube portion of it going. Then you can't do both at the same time like you can with StreamYard. So we had to cut the feed off to Facebook to get the feed going to YouTube, which we ended up losing Bonnie from that, which is just as well as it turned out. So we finally got the Zoom feed going on YouTube, and I was having some horrible issues with audio. I was having 3 and 4 audio streams at the same time, and I couldn't get that straightened out. And it was just a mess. So I was totally wrapped up in trying to get my end of the problem things fixed up while everybody else was talking. In the meantime, all these people were coming in from literally all over to join in our test for Zoom. Some of them were people that Pete knew. Some of them were people that John knew. There were a bunch of people that I know. And they were all kind of in the waiting room, and John was trying to get some people put online at times and continuing with the test and all that business, which was, we were having fun with it. In the meantime, Pete's drinking sherry over there in London. He's getting about 3 sheets to the wind. We had a guy on from Germany who was trashed, but that was okay. I mean, it was okay. It was nothing was bad about that. But so John, in the meantime, had to go take care of some business stuff. So he got off and gave me control. So I had control of the test. By then I'd gotten my audio straightened out. So I was only hearing one stream. And I started letting people were in the waiting room. And one of them that Pete had been talking to, our friend Emily, Emily from up in New York, Emily Archer. She's a regular on these broadcasts. And so I was trying to get Emily loaded onto the Zoom thing so we could get her camera working and her mic going. And we're having trouble. And I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get Emily's camera operating on the console, and we got porn bombed from one of the other people that I found out later, I didn't know at the time, was pumping some audio in of a woman and having sexual intercourse, as the nicest way of putting it, and having orgasms, and the audio from that, if you can imagine. So here we are, Pete's in London, I'm here in Virginia. I'm trying to get Emily loaded on. We had a couple other people on the stream, and this porn audio going at the same time. So since I was dealing with Emily's stream, and I wasn't for sure that it was our Emily at that point, I later found out it was. So I cut Emily off, which I can do from the little control thing. And so the porn was still there. So I knew it wasn't Emily that was doing it. So it was another name, which I, of course, cut them off. So we got porn bombed yesterday. So if any of you were on it and embarrassed from that, just know that I apologize. It wasn't anything we had anything to do with, and we were embarrassed about it too. Now I'm looking back on it, it was rather funny, but it was, I could see where it was embarrassing at the time. So I feel bad for Emily, and I'm sorry Bonnie wasn't there to witness that because she had already gone. So she missed out on it. But yeah, so we were porn bombed on Zoom. So whether or not I use Zoom in the future, we don't know. Pete's going to use StreamYard for the next broadcast of the three of us. And he's going to do some testing on that this afternoon, our time. So we're going to be traveling so Pete can get used to controlling a StreamYard broadcast. So, all right, the other thing, folks, that I wanted to touch on today, real quickly, so speaking of Pete, Pete's in the house. Hi, Chillie, Pete says. It's Cruises for Solo. That's Pete, by the way. I was just telling you the story about yesterday. Arlene's here. Arlene says, good morning, Chillie, coming through loud and clear. Thank you for that, Arlene. Tom Henry, Emily was in Bruce's live stream yesterday, too. He did a surprise 4 p.m. show. Yeah, I ended up later talking to Emily, and we were trying to get a Zoom going on for her, and we were having trouble with that, and it got around to dinner time. And so anyway, and Tom said that Bruce had a couple trolls yesterday as well. Yeah, that's ridiculous for somebody to do that, but at least now I can laugh about it. I was just I wasn't laughing a whole lot yesterday when it happened. We haven't been bombed yet. Not today we haven't, but we sure did yesterday. So anyway, okay, the other thing I wanted to mention this morning, let's see, I had some stuff over here. While I was talking about Cunard, I was going to put up this picture, just so you weren't looking at me. I got all screwed up, didn't even think about that. So that's the Queen Victoria that's now out of operation until the end of July. So that was what I was going to do. The other thing I was going to mention today, new on my website, and a bit of an explanation, folks. Since this whole business with the coronavirus started, I have not been promoting cruises per se. I was doing a thing on for a while on a cruise of the day. And it's when I had a real good bargain on a cruise, I would make mention of it. And I make no bones about it that usually if you end up booking the cruise, I am not a travel agent. I cannot book cruises per se, but I can quarterback the deal through for you, and I might get a little benefit in the background of it. a cruise discount or something with the people that I deal with, but I can help you get a cruise booked and quarterback to make sure everything goes smooth for you. But I have this complete cruising again. And I don't want to be promoting a good deal on a cruise and have you getting all excited about going on a cruise and then have it canceled out. I'm just not going to do it. So I am not promoting cruises. I am trying to keep my website updated with all these changes of dates and prices and all that thing. Now, I do not have a 100% cruise website. I don't cover all the cruises. I'm a one-man operation and I don't have the time to do that, but I keep adding a little bit here and a little bit there and trying to keep the pricings all up and the dates and all that. Norwegian Sun, that was something new. And that is the Freedom of the Seas. Some of you may have been on the Freedom of the Seas in the past. For the last couple of years, the Freedom of the Seas replaced Adventure of the Seas in San Juan, and has been in San Juan for 2 or maybe 3 years now. And in 2021, it's going to be moving up to Bayonne. And this is one of the early cruises out of Bayonne in 2021, which is just a 5-day Bermuda cruise with overnight in Kings Wharf. So it's new to the website. Video, there'll be a link that you can check it out. Go to the website and investigate all you want to on the website. Feel free to do it. And if you ever want help with booking a cruise or any of that kind of stuff, just let me know. You can leave comments. You can leave chats. I do follow everything that's put on any of my things. So. Anyway, all right, let's check, see if we got anything else. John Remar's here too. What do you know? Cruises will start in 2025. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's good. Morning. Hey, John. John is the other of the 3 amigos. We got Pete over there in London, who tries to keep the Queen in line and talks funny. And then John is a cannabis farmer up in northern Minnesota, where it snows 12 months out of the year, I think. So, and anyway, the 3 of us are the cruise amigos, and we act silly and do silly things. So, all right, guys, that's it for this morning. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Again, if anything major happens between now and Tuesday, which is the next broadcast of Travel and Cruise Industry News, I will go live with the story or get a video up, one or the other. In the meantime, if not, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Be good to each other. Be good. Stay healthy. Stay safe. I'll see you next week. This is the Fat Guy. Later, y'all.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.